SecurityCon 1985 here, the Zero Turned Hero. I'm going to do a quick video on trauma kit. I got my other first aid bag, my ouch pouch right here. I'm still working on that, and I'll do a video on that. But this today is just going to be on the trauma bag that I put together. I worked in law enforcement, security, and military, seen some trauma, so I'm not an expert by no means still, but just want to give you my ideas. Everybody should have a little trauma kit at the very least. You know, it's important with tourniquets, whatever, to treat major trauma, or even a little, you could throw band-aids, whatever, in there too, on top of the trauma, and have just a first aid bag. But I wouldn't build it yourself. It'll be cheaper. You can look online. A lot of companies like on Amazon, all that, they build weird kits. They'll have compasses in it and stuff. Like, what do you need a compass for? You going to, you can't find the body or person injured. I mean, it doesn't make sense. What do you need a compass in a trauma kit? Unless, you're lost yourself in stupidity and you need to find common sense maybe. But so just build yourself. You'll save money, and, give you a little sense of, completion that you did it yourself and spending more money than you should. So this is mine right here. It also has Velcro on the back, so I can attach it to my first aid bag. This has more stuff for, like, just major choking, diabetics, different things. So looking at it here, obviously marked it. You want to have it marked with a cross or a first aid kit, whatever. On the outside, I've gone a little, extra on mine, but I got trauma shears. Sorry. A marker to mark on the body or injured person. I keep saying body, I mean injured person. Like, put a tourniquet on, you can write the time and T. Just a little light here, another little light. You can use this, set it to red light. If you need to set it down somewhere, you can find it easily, or you can just use it as a light itself. I got a needle here for, decompression. Don't try that unless you know how. That's like a last resort, dangerous thing to do, but I just have one, so I threw it on there. And a pen. And then right here, I got a tourniquet. It's attached by a Velcro and a clip. I also got another tourniquet on the top here. It's a rat's tourniquet. Rat's tourniquets are good because they work better on smaller arms, children, as where the cats kind of sometimes struggle. Not always, but on certain arms. You could get this on a lot smaller arms. So just good to have one. Easier to carry in your pocket too for emergencies. So opening it out, it's a little messy. I got to redo it, but as I was doing the video here. So basically, kind of controversial, but I just keep a thing or two of these, a Narcan in there. As you can see, you never know. You might be coming up to somebody, you think's injured, and they might be exposed to fentanyl or something. You could treat them or treat yourself. Emergency bandages, got a couple here, like Israeli bandages. You can look them up, watch videos on them. In here, I'll move it over. Got just an emergency blanket, some tape, a lighter. I keep a lighter with everything. You never know. They can come in handy when you don't expect them to. Whole package, gloves. More gloves, the better. Here's some bleed stop. It's kind of, you just pour it into a wound. It helps, stop the bleeding. It's, single pack use. Gives you directions like, open arm wound or something. Just slow the bleeding down. Got chest seals here. 3 of them. This is for a major trauma. I just have it together. You can nasal airway here, in case you need to put down the nose to give mouth, breaths or anything like that if they have a damage to their mouth or face. So 2 more tourniquets, also pressure dressings. These are, the stretchy ones. Drawing a blank on the name now, but I'll go ahead and put it down in the comments. Here, I got a couple of those. Here, I got multiple combat gauzes and just regular compressed gauze for wound packing. Got a bunch of them in here. More. You don't have to build it this extensive, but I have it attached to a big first aid kit for multiple if there was something. So, build it yourself. Look at, you basically need packing, chest seal, tourniquet, and maybe, pressure dressing. More tourniquets, the better. And like I said, you can throw those things in there. Most of them aren't cheap. The quick clots are, 15 bucks or whatever. These are like 15 bucks. These tourniquets right here. I'm really sorry I drew a blank on the name here, but I have these two. They're easy to pack. You can also use them on top of a bandage as a pressure, help put more pressure on, or a tourniquet, depending on how tight you pull it. It'll show you on here. There's a direction with diamonds. The tighter you pull it, to tell you to get a tourniquet. It kind of gives you directions. But like I said, I'll put that tourniquet name down or I'll put it on the screen when I edit the video. So just want to give you a quick video. Like I said, Narcan's kind of controversial, but it's needed these days and days because you never know what you're going to be exposed to yourself in that way. And heroin addicts or not, or an addict, I don't want to see anybody lose their life, and it's sad, but I'd rather treat them no matter what, So that's about it for this. I'll do one on the big first aid kit here, and then just keep giving these videos out, trying to get better with each one. And I just ask you to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. SecurityCon 1985 out.